Welcome back to another sports rant, and oh boy, what we witnessed tonight was insane. It needs no introductions. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. You are Super Bowl champions. That might have been the worst Super Bowl performance I've seen Seattle beat since the 2014 Seattle Seahawks just eviscerated the Broncos. That was insane. Um, that defensive performance was incredible. The GOAT debate ended before it really could even begin, which is for me, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Right, we need Tom Brady. There was never really a debate to begin with, but some people were assuming that there would be a debate, so they were talking about, oh, if he three-peats, what does this mean? And it didn't happen. That was... The Philadelphia Eagles have... Howie Roseman is probably the best GM of all time. He has won 2 Super Bowls with 2 different head coaches, with 2 completely different teams. I was talking about it last night with my brother. The only 2 returning players from that team that played were Lane Johnson and Brandon Graham. That was it. Otherwise, it's a completely different roster. And Howie Roseman we kind of sputtered towards the end of the season there last year. Didn't really matter. We were coming in as kind of like this. They were the 2 seed. They were good. They added Saquon. They added all this, blah blah blah. But the Chiefs are just so good, blah blah blah. Everybody was talking about the Chiefs like they were the Patriots. They're not. I think that's one of the bigger things. Brady was whenever he lost the Super Bowl, I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? He always lost. He lost the Super Bowl by single digits. The game went to the wire. Especially that game, kind of the similar impact, similar gravity to what this game was for the Chiefs, was the 2007 team when they were trying to go undefeated. And when he just, it went down to the wire. It went down to one of the most improbable catches in NFL history. But tonight it was different. Patrick Mahomes played horrid. The first half he had, I think he had 63 yards. He had thrown 2 picks, one of them for a touchdown to Cooper DeJean. He was sacked 6 times, and the Eagles did not blitz once. That Eagles defense was insane. So much credit to them, but I really might just sit here and shit talk for a little bit, but that was pitiful by the Chiefs. That was sad by one of the great offensive minds of our time. That was just what happened. Their offense did nothing. I saw more 3 and outs than I've seen all season. You guys scored 22. Yeah, it was 22-40, but the majority of the game it was you had one meaningful score touchdown that was okay, it's the end of the third quarter, maybe, and then it's the Eagles kind of flex and score 35. So that was insane, and I've been trying to explain. It's something. It's I was kind of high on the Chiefs. I was their defense is good, and their defense played good. If we're going to give them something that they played good today, their defense played good. Their defense stopped Saquon. Their offense couldn't move. They couldn't move the ball. That entire first half, they could not move the ball, and they have one of the greats at quarterback. So it was kind of really a revelation. You realize, defense does win championships. That front 4 for Philly is insane. They were able to just of like they just walked by the O line of the Chiefs, which is, I mean, it's not like insane. It's not like a '90s Dallas like O line, but it wasn't bad. It certainly wasn't a factor coming into this game. I remember when they played Tampa, it was like, oh, they're missing so like X, Y, and Z, and it's like, but they weren't really missing anybody. They had to shuffle the deck a couple times, but you have a great offensive coach who has shuffled the deck multiple times with your O line. It's time to figure it out. And I think this is really some of the people who are online who are saying, "Oh, Mahomes is the GOAT," or "Mahomes is like, this is a better team. This is a better dynasty than this is the great dynasty." Like comparing him to Michael Jordan, comparing him to Tom Brady. You have that, and that performance really killed it. Like, sorry, that set him back. Like we were talking about him like he was number two. I don't even think he's really number two. I mean, I think there's a conversation that Joe Montana is better than him. Still. And like after last year, it was talked, and everybody was like, "Oh, the Chiefs are gonna three." They said it as soon as they won last year. They were talking about the 3P. We're gonna do this, blah blah blah. We're gonna be this is the dynasty, and it's like, wait, is this really what we like? Is this really what we were expecting? I wasn't expecting it. I was like, shit, I gotta dust off the sword and start defending Tom Brady again. And I don't have to. Patrick Mahomes did that for me tonight. And it was pitiful. 24-0 at halftime. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was like, there were a lot of things. I was like, oh, we gotta wait, because Patrick Mahomes might pull it off. He's coming. Like I remember when he came back against Houston in the divisional round, and it was like, oh shit, like that was impressive, and that defense for Philly just shut it down. They didn't pass the 50-yard line until the third quarter. And I know like the score doesn't really like show what happened. Like we'll kind of like fade, but like they did like a lot of that, like the 22 points they scored was in garbage time. Like that was insane what happened. Like Philly, that was impressive. Props to Jalen Hurts, who was like it felt like the media was so focused on this three-peat. Is he going to pass Brady? Is he going to do this? Oh my gosh, this is so insane. And then they didn't realize that Philly is really well constructed. They have a better like roster in general. They have a better defense. And like they're just better at every level, and Jalen Hurts really proved that. He played insane. He was we're just running the ball, and even when Saquon didn't play great. Jalen played great. Jalen played like he was a top 5 quarterback in the league. He played like the best quarterback. He was the better quarterback today. Like he was making when it like even when the blitz came, and like he would just run up the seam, like kind of like what we saw from Patrick Mahomes. What we were expecting from Patrick, we got from Jalen, which I think was really impressive, because it was the GOAT debate really ended like as quickly as Aaron Rodgers' career with the Jets. The Jets just announced that they're not going to bring him back, but still, it was kind of a big moment for everybody today. Like everybody was talking about how like, oh my gosh, the Chiefs, who's going to beat them? Who's going to stop them? Is it finally going to be Philly? Is it like we thought it was going to be? Okay, please just let the Bills beat them. The Bills lost, and there was no ref narrative. I don't really like that ref narrative where it was like, oh, the Chiefs get all the calls, which wasn't great. I don't really like that narrative. The ref narrative is kind of dumb, because everybody gets calls and it always changes. But oh freaking boy, we are so back. It's probably going to go down as one of the most oh, like honestly, like the one, like the Chiefs, probably one of the more overrated teams in NFL history. Like this, I saw that. It was like, yeah, like I saw that in like a comment on Instagram. I was like, the 2024 Chiefs, the most overrated team in NFL history, and I was like, you know what? That's not bad. It's not a bad take. Because like, I mean, yes, they ran through the AFC, they ran through everything, but when push came to shove in the biggest moments, in the most pivotal historical moments, in the Super Bowls that mean the most, that meant the most to Patrick Mahomes, he's lost, and badly, by like getting eviscerated. Like that's I'm gonna keep saying that over and over again. When Brady lost, it was by 3, 4. I think his biggest loss was like 8 points, which is like you can score and win. Like you can like tie the game. He could either have tied the game, won the game. It was close. The game ended on a very pivotal moment. This game ended from was over at halftime, and I was like, oh, Mahomes has magic. It's like, does he? Is he on that same level? Is he better than Joe Montana, who never lost in the Super Bowl? Has he overcome? What has he really overcome? He's great. He's a really good quarterback. But today, he was the second best quarterback out there. And it really showed. And it was sad. It was sad. Congrats to Philadelphia. That was, phew, what a freaking, that was, defense wins championships again. Vic Fangio made a statement. That was insane. And I was watching, I was like, they really have not really pushed back on this, like, there's not really a whole lot, like, I was like, oh, like, that even they're down 24, I'm like, we can't count on Mahomes. He's gonna do something, and it's like, there was just no juice from one of the better offensive, like, and it wasn't even like their Chiefs defense played bad again, because they stopped Saquon. They were stopping him all night. It wasn't that like Saquon beat them, or Saquon had some big 60-yard run, or they were running up like. It was the offense. It was Patrick Mahomes. It was the offensive line. It was Travis Kelce. It was Andy Reid. And yes, it sucks. But if you had won tonight, it would have been, oh my gosh, what a great performance. This is insane. But you didn't. You got humiliated on national television. Kind of like Drake. It was probably one of the most humiliating performances since like the '85 Patriots and the 2013 Broncos. That was embarrassing from the entire Chiefs organization. But also, congrats to Philly. That was insane. Don't destroy your city. Peace out.